Today, on Are You Ready to Rumble, our featured guest is Mrs. Stomach. Everyone, give Mrs. Stomach a round of applause.
Thank you, Taylor. Oh, please, but call me Tummy. It's like Tammy, but with a U.
Tummy it is. Tummy is an actress and will be telling us about her new role in the movie Appetite.
Well, I believe that I was chosen for this role out of all the other organs because I contain the components to adequately carry out this role.
And can you tell us a little bit more about these components?
Well, I have the perfect body that accentuate my fundus and my pyloric tantrum.
I heard that fundus was very important in the casting of this role.
Yes, Taylor, my fundus is able to secrete the most amount of ghrelin, which was essential for the lead role in Appetite. I could tell you about the importance of ghrelin, or I could show you while we cook.
That would be great. And what recipe do you have for us today, Tummy?
Something that no one can resist. Pizza!
I have here on our show the necessary ingredients for pizza. We have yeast, flour, sugar, salt, oil, water, and necessary toppings. What about these ingredients, Tummy, relate to what you wanted to tell us about ghrelin?
Well, just as flour is the base for pizza dough, 28 amino acids is the base for ghrelin. And just how yeast makes the dough active, the serine at position 3 is what makes ghrelin active by allowing it to attach to receptors in the hypothalamus in the brain.
You mentioned earlier that ghrelin was essential for your role in Appetite. What does ghrelin do that's so important?
Ghrelin excites orexigenic neurons, which stretch to another part of the hypothalamus to activate second-order neurons through neuropeptide Y. Neuropeptide Y then activates melanin concentrating hormone and orexin, which is responsible for all the things that make you feel hungry.
Oh, I get it. Just like yeast releases carbon dioxide and alcohol to make the dough rise, the second-order neurons activate melanin concentrating hormone and orexin to have your stomach rumble.
Exactly, just like that. It makes it rumble because it activated gut motility to start digestion.
So you've been able to relate a lot of these ingredients to pizza, but we haven't talked about sugar. What does ghrelin relate to sugar, and how does ghrelin relate to sugar?
Actually, it does. Sugar is needed for your body to feed upon, just how sugar is needed for the yeast in the dough to feed upon. When ghrelin is activated, your blood glucose level is low, so it signals your liver to activate gluconeogenesis and glycogenolysis, as well as inhibits glucose uptake by muscle and adipose tissue.
I can see why ghrelin was such an important role in the purpose of casting the movie Appetite. Let's get this pizza ready and into the oven, and while it's cooking, I can ask you a couple more questions.
Great. Pizza!
Um, So, while our pizza's cooking, I'm going to ask Tummy a couple more questions about her role in Appetite. So, I understand that sometimes the strength of actors and actresses can also be their weaknesses in other roles. Do you believe that ghrelin has ever caused you any issues?
Of course, ghrelin has been the cause of a couple issues in my past.
Can you briefly explain what these issues were and how you were able to overcome them?
Well, Taylor, too much ghrelin at one point caused overeating, leading to obesity, which negatively affected my physical appearance and affected my perfect body. I was able to reduce these effects by following a strict diet and doing receptor blocking therapy to suppress my appetite.
You know, sometimes while doing these cooking interviews, I feel as though I'm not digesting my food properly. Is this something you ever experience? And how do you think ghrelin plays a role in this?
Yes, what you are experiencing is indigestion. Indigestion is the inability to digest food properly. High plasma ghrelin levels is an indication of someone suffering from indigestion. There is a compensatory secretion of ghrelin in order to normalize the impaired gastrointestinal motility, which causes plasma ghrelin levels to increase. Some things I would suggest to decrease the symptoms would be not to chew with your mouth open, drink beverages after eating rather than during, and avoiding spicy foods.
My ghrelin levels seem to be rising with the smell of this pizza cooking. Thank you, Tommy, for taking the time to speak with us today and letting us know about your important role in appetite. Clearly, ghrelin is essential to your success.
Thank you for having me, Taylor. Now let's eat!